Good afternoon. This is Eric Christensen with the National Hurricane Center with the latest tropical Atlantic marine weather briefing, recorded Sunday, March 23rd, 2025, valid through Friday, March 28th, 2025. The main weather issue will continue to be winds pulsing to gale force over the southwest Caribbean off the coast of Colombia tonight, accompanied by rough to very rough seas. Fresh to strong winds and rough to very rough seas persist across the southern Caribbean between high pressure over the western Atlantic and lower pressure over Colombia. Winds will pulse to gale force tonight off Colombia with maximum seas to 14 feet. Fresh southeast winds and seas to 7 feet are active over the western Gulf west of the ridge. Fresh to strong trade winds and 8 to 10 foot seas are noted over the tropical Atlantic. Farther north, rough seas follow a trough, the remnant of a cold front, moving into the central Atlantic to the east of Bermuda. For Monday, a front stalls along the coast of Texas with another front moving through the northwest Atlantic into the north central Atlantic through Bermuda. This pattern weakens the subtropical ridge, keeping winds in the Caribbean just below gale force. Little change in winds and seas are expected elsewhere. By Tuesday, the front in the north-central Atlantic weakens, with the ridge extending toward Florida from the north-central Atlantic. The front in the Gulf remains mostly stalled over the northern Gulf Coast, allowing benign marine weather across the remainder of the basin. Little change elsewhere with fresh to strong trade winds and rough to very rough seas across the Caribbean. For Wednesday, the Atlantic ridge shifts eastward ahead of a front moving from the northeast Gulf to off the northeast coast of Florida. This will allow a slight decrease in winds and seas across the Caribbean. Little change is expected elsewhere. By Thursday, the front will reach from Bermuda to the Windward Passage, displacing the ridge to the east. This pattern will allow winds and seas to further diminish across the Caribbean. High pressure over the eastern United States will support fresh easterly winds and moderate seas across the Gulf by that time. By Friday, the front will reach from the north-central Atlantic to the eastern Dominican Republic. High pressure behind the front will support east to southeast winds and moderate to rough seas across the Gulf, and mostly fresh winds with moderate seas across the Caribbean, except for a small area of strong winds and rough seas off Colombia. A broad area of fresh trade winds and 8 to 10 foot seas with northwest and northeast swell will persist over the tropical Atlantic. To summarize the main weather issue, expect gale force winds accompanied by rough to very rough seas in the southwest Caribbean Sea tonight off the coast of Colombia. This has been the latest tropical Atlantic marine weather briefing. The next briefing will be Thursday, March 27th, 2025. And as always, you can get the latest graphics and information at hurricanes.gov/marine.